All right. Let's talk a little bit about college football and specifically attendance. You and I did a segment years ago now at this point.
Yeah, we're old.
About attendance in college football and this was a couple years ago when attendance was on the decline. I want to say it was like 5 straight years in decline.
Yeah.
We talked about how I think that there are a couple of things that college football struggles with that make it so it is not conducive to attending a football game. First of all, like the TV presentation is excellent.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
It's great to sit at home and watch a million games.
Absolutely. I mean, you have kids. What's the easy option? Stay at home. Yeah. They can play with toys, and you can sit on the couch.
Especially with kids. Mm-hmm. I don't. A, it's hard to bring them. B, it can be kind of pricey. C, there's no way that I can take my kids for a 4-hour football game.
No.
That's part of it. And then another part of it, and this is just me, and I don't want to be a prude here, but I don't think it is a conducive atmosphere most places for families.
Right.
It sends me a little rowdy.
Yep.
And I don't know if I need 5-year-old Hank
hearing some of the words coming
out
of
home what that word means. I'm not sure. But Mike Craven on TexasFootball.com wrote a piece where he talks about the attendance trends for all the FBS programs across the state of Texas. Did you pull up the graphic or no? I didn't send you the graphic.
Oh, no.
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Real fast.
Essentially, if you look year over year from 2023 or from 2022 to 2023, essentially, the leader in the clubhouse, the team that has the most the highest attendance, this is not going to surprise you. It's Texas. Texas has the highest attendance, both in stadium capacity and in average attendance, right? That's not a surprise. They have an enormous stadium. Second place, also not a surprise, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is second on that list. Third on that list is Texas Tech. Now, Texas Tech did take a slight decrease in their attendance year over year. We'll talk about that in a moment. They were third on the list. Fourth year over year was TCU. As far as attendance is concerned. Fifth was Baylor. Baylor took a relatively significant, a decent step back. TCU took a nice step forward. Sixth on that list, as far as average attendance, Houston. Seventh was UTSA. Eighth, SMU. Ninth, Texas State. 10th, Rice. 11th, UTEP. And 12th, North Texas. 13th, Sam Houston. Now, that is, you have to take into account the size of stadiums and stuff like that.
Right.
When you take a look at the trend lines for year over year, there were a couple teams that really made a nice leap. Mm-hmm. Some of them, I think, are pretty easy to understand. Sam Houston made a big leap.
Yes.
Forward. They're up 9% in attendance.
Not even making a leap into a better conference, making a leap from what do you call that, division of football?
Division 1 to 2, or rather, the subdivision.
Subdivision,
up to FBS, right? That is surprising. It would be very troubling if Sam Houston did not have an increase in attendance. What I think is interesting, though, is they did that despite the fact they did not have a ton of Saturday games.
No.
Remember, they were playing a lot of midweek games.
Wednesday games.
Yeah, a lot of Wednesday games. So even to have that is impressive. Second highest attendance improvement, Texas State. Up 20% year over year.
Makes sense. You win games, people come out.
If you win, then that's going to get you, people are going to start paying attention to you. Texas State made a big leap there. It was very, very impressive to see them. And plain and simple, you saw those crowds swell as the season went on. People started buying into what G.J. Kinney was selling, and there was excitement there in the program.
Even further than that, I think their president, Dampus, has something to do with that, too. You saw them go through an entire shift from their academic leadership of, okay, hey, we had a president beforehand that did not put a lot of stock into athletics, and now you have a guy that's out here riding these mini motorcycle bikes trying to get students out to the games and really caring about that. I think college administration as a whole can have, even way further than just the athletic department, can have a huge factor on that.
And the biggest riser year over year, and also we'll get to this in the 5-year trends as well, the Houston Cougars made a, let me look at this, 41.8% leap in attendance. Now, I think this is twofold. Threefold, really. Actually, it's only twofold. One, Houston has not drawn particularly well in the past, in the recent years. Plain and simple, TDECU Stadium it's no longer TDECU Stadium.
It is.
It is still TDECU Stadium. Oh, that's right.
Apogee is
changed.
not Apogee.
That's right.
It's Daku.
Yeah.
So it's another credit union stadium.
It's another credit union.
But yes, it is still TDECU.
TDECU Stadium, plain and simple, in the past couple of years, has not had a ton of their capacity has not been good, right? They averaged in 2022 25,000 in attendance. I mean, the barn probably seats 40,
Yeah.
right? 40, maybe a little more than 40.
Yeah, it's big.
It's a big stadium. They were up to 36,000 as their average. I think you can draw a straight parallel to the conference change.
Yes.
And plain and simple, when you replace Temple and Tulsa with TCU and Texas,
Yep.
you're going to get a big swell in attendance.
Well, and the other thing here that, I mean, just point blank truth of the matter is, too, when you add in those bigger opponents, especially larger in-state opponents, you also have to account for all of the neutral fans that are showing up and all of the opposing fans. I was at that Houston versus Texas game, and there were a ton of Houston Cougar fans there, but there were a ton of neutral fans, and there was a lot of burnt orange. And guess what? Numbers are numbers.
Hey,
those count towards attendance, and that place was full to the brim
That's
that
the
day.
gate, too.
Yep.
That counts for the gate, too. So, yeah, I would say that was, and you think about that increase is despite the fact that Houston wasn't good.
No.
Like, they fired their coach. Like, they were not good last year. They struggled in their first year in the Big 12, but moving conferences was the right move. When you take a look at the 5-year trends, the 5-year trends tell a similar story. Houston is up very big. Texas State is up very big. UTSA is up very big as well.
That's definitely a direct impact of winning.
Sam Houston is up. TCU is up over 5 years. Texas is up a little bit. A&M is down slightly, but, I mean, they're going from, like, 101% capacity to, like, 99% capacity.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about it. There is one school I want to talk about with you. Somebody's calling me.
We're doing a show.
Doing a show. Spam. Scam likely. My good friend Scam likely.
Let's
talk about your Mean Green.
Yeah.
Because the numbers for North Texas are, quite frankly, troubling. Because year over year, they were down 6.6% in attendance. 6.6%.
Yeah.
And over the last 5 years, they're down 13.5%. By far the biggest drop. Second biggest drop, only behind SMU, which is a little strange too. But that is, as far as year over year, 5-year drop, they are by far the biggest.
I was not surprised by that.
You weren't. That's interesting. Why not?
Well, one, I'm not the MC anymore. No,
of course, people come up.
Think about 5 years ago. Where were they? They were the top dog of Conference USA, basically. So you're coming off, that would have been what, 2018, say 5 years ago. So what you're doing there is you're coming off of the historic year, not only for the North Texas football team, but for North Texas athletics. In 2017, they made it to the conference championship in football. They won the conference championship in volleyball. The men's team was really good in basketball. I mean, your soccer won the conference championship. So you're looking at a program that was, as an athletic department as a whole, at an all-time high. You had the best quarterback that North Texas had ever seen in Mason Fine. I mean, the thing was rolling at that point. After 2018 was Mason Fine's senior year. Things didn't end up playing out how they had hoped to. The bowl game wasn't working out. That was when you started to see Seth Luttrell's decline. So you went through a couple of years of that. Now you move into another conference, and that's great, but they didn't win early on this season. And when you're looking at a program like North Texas, you're looking at a liberal arts school. This, from a person who worked in the marketing department for 4 years, you have a struggle getting those students to those games. And the reason being is a lot of those students are not interested in football. They're not interested in athletics as a whole. So the only way that you have people that show up to North Texas games that aren't the Mean Green faithful is if you are consistently winning. If you are winning, people see the fun. They see the fun that the other fans are having, that their peers are having. But that is a program that is an uphill battle. You're fighting against the neutral fan of why go to a North Texas game when you can go to a Mavs game, when you can go to a Stars game, when you can go to a Cowboys game, all that stuff. So it's a big hotbed area that should have fans that come out to it, but you have to have success, and you haven't had that in the past 5 years, so it's going to decline. If Eric Morris can get it rolling again, you can easily get it back up. But I wasn't surprised by that, to be completely honest with you.
That's really interesting. That does make a lot of sense, actually, now that you explain it, because, like, plain and simple, like, in North Texas, like, I mean, you are also fighting for the neutral fan.
Oh, absolutely. More so than almost any other place. TCU goes through it and SMU goes through it, which is another reason why I think SMU is struggling to get it up as well.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the team that I've got my eye on the most in this year is going to be SMU.
Yes.
Because SMU moving to the ACC, they get TCU and Florida State at home. Those should be big crowds. They need to. I want to see if they have a boost in attendance there. Anyway, the piece up on TexasFootball.com. It's attendance trends for FBS teams in Texas. You can find it out. Mike Craven wrote it at TexasFootball.com. Go read it.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.